Good afternoon and welcome back to the Hammers Headlines. This is Anton from the West Ham Network. I'm bringing this show in conjunction with our good friends over at Knees Up Mother Brown, KUMB.com. Make sure you do go across out there and check out their fantastic content. A great forum with all the West Ham up-to-date news. Fans from all over the world giving you as much general chit-chat about West Ham as you possibly can. So get across there, check them out. As per usual, but I am here to bring you some of the updated news with regards to West Ham. And as you do know, it is relentless right now. It's never does not stop. Now, West Ham are looking at a new kid on the block. We're not just looking at some players that you've been linked to. The mainstream media are saying Bergwijn over Ajax, etc. But we're looking to someone more close to home. And that player is a player called Jack Clarke from Sunderland in this January transfer window. The 23-year-old has genuinely impressed in the Championship for Sunderland this season. And he did have a failed spell with Tottenham following a big money move from Leeds back in 2019. But now Clarke could be looking for a move back to the Premier League, and that could be with West Ham. Now, he could be a decent addition for us, but I don't know where I'm at with it because he's obviously not got the Premier League massive amount of experience. However, he has bagged 12 goals and 2 assists in 26 Championship appearances for Sunderland so far this season. Now, he has got very, very good technical ability, but he does lack that kind of pace and strength right now. But he's still got a lot to learn. If you did watch the game where Sunderland played Newcastle on Saturday, you've just seen how potentially off the pace Clarke was. I'm not saying necessarily that he's a done player. I'm not saying that he is not ready. He could be a very, very good future talent for West Ham, but I'm not sure about this one. He could be a good talent. He might not. He may work. He may not. But let's be honest with you, when we signed some of the players in January transfer windows, nobody thought the success we would have had with Tommy Soucek. Nobody thought the success we would have had with Jared Bowen. So maybe Jack Clarke can prove any form of the doubters wrong. Leave your comments in and let me know your thoughts on West Ham being linked to this 23-year-old player, as well as we then potentially look at another player from the Championship, but this time it's the Italian international Wilfried Gnonto. So now, listen, we were linked to this player before. I do like this player. He is fast, he is pacey, and he sometimes is extremely direct. There's an element of Diamante with pace. He likes to shoot. He likes to put the shot on target. Now, he's not got the greatest of stats, in particular, whilst playing at Leeds United. In actual fact, I believe his stats are 5 goals and 5 assists to his name in 50 games so far. But the biggest issue you've got with Gnonto is the fact that he tried to push through a move last summer and looked like he spat the dummy when that could not happen. But apparently West Ham are keen and potentially looking at a potential deal to bring him to the club. He is 20 years old. He is an Italian international. And I've always liked him. I've always rated him as a player. I don't like the attitude moment when he did turn around and say, I'm not going to play for the club, but he did apologize. And that means that he is obviously realized, do you know what? I did wrong. I was advised wrong, and people are allowed a second chance. It is worth remembering, though, he is only 20, so he has got lots and lots and lots of time on his side. He's a completely different dimension to any of our attacking players. Right now, he has massive amount of speed behind him. So if we were to manage to bring someone in like Gnonto, I actually think that would be a very, very good deal. And I don't think it would cost us a huge amount of money. We don't have a long-lasting history in recent years of bringing Italians in who turn out to be a success. Obviously, if we can go further back, of course they have. But he does have 13 caps for Italy. So I don't think he would be that crap. And he's got Premier League experience. and he's had to drop down a division to show that he can withstand the stresses of playing in England, full stop. So what do you think is Wilfried Gnonto, another player that West Ham could bring in to the equation? But next up is a conversation we're going to have about a player potentially heading out the way, and that is Conor Coventry. Is Coventry heading over to Sheffield? Well, apparently, according to sources close to the club, Sheffield United have an interest in Conor Coventry, and now West Ham are allowing the player to go talk to the Championship side. Now, listen, when it comes to Conor Coventry, I think fair play to you, son. You want to stick it out. You wanted to give yourself a chance at West Ham, love the club, been there, done that, wore the t-shirt, but you now need to go make a career for yourself. And unfortunately, you're not going to be able to do that anymore at West Ham because you're not going to get your chances that maybe you thought that you had. Now, Sheffield Wednesday have admired the 23-year-old. Let's remember, he is 23, Conor Coventry, and I think it's time that he goes and builds a career for him. Now, that could be quite a good signing for Sheffield Wednesday and also a good bit of business for West Ham. And if Conor Coventry goes, we need to bring in and fill that kind of homegrown player in at the club. So if he goes, we lose that situation, but we bring Jack Clarke in, we tick that box again as well. Now, he was out on loan to Rotherham United, is out on loan to Rotherham United just now. He's at the bottom of the Championship at the moment. But the return to the London Stadium could happen if he is to make that permanent switch across to Sheffield Wednesday. So we do know they've got a keen interest in him and he could be heading out the door. And I think it's a good move for all parties. And yes, it means that we can maybe focus on some of the other targets that we are looking at and freeing up some much needed space in the squad. I was going to say much needed space. We don't really have a squad. So maybe it's not freeing up some much needed space. Who knows? But that's the end of your Hammers headlines for today. Short, sweet, straight to the point. That's the whole point. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Check out KUMB.com. Come on, you irons.